P3-14 is more of a perceptual problem in that we have kind of this in shape, and with the angle being cut back 30 degrees from our plane, it's more of a what is going on here with the extension lines. All right, so this back face is 90 degrees to the base, and we're going to have to contend with that angle. So this is a metric part, and let's go into the right plane, and we'll start our sketch and just rough position everything in. And think I missed a little bit there, but we'll get some of there's the inference lines. Alright, and then on the right mouse button context, pick up the dimension. And we have an overall of 50, a height of 45. Our first angles are 30 degrees. Alright, so that's showing the opposite angle, but we have the interior. So let's undo that one real quick. And if I wanted to utilize the arrows, I would pick the vertex and then the angle, and then give it the direction of the extension line. And that didn't quite do what I wanted it to do. So pretty much can end up with the same thing. Alright, I was thinking I could get the opposite without some extension lines. I'm not quite there. So 15 on the height. And then same thing, 30. So let's just go between the horizontal and the angle. And my sketches are set to not show the warning. Apparently it went to automatic, so when that goes to driven automatically, that usually means that I have an inferred, in this case perpendicular. I have an inferred perpendicular or a parallel, so I'm going to highlight, or we can highlight one of the entities and find the perpendicular to remove it. Alright, so if I had left the 60 degrees in place, I could have changed it from a driven. Oh, I got a, how about that? I got a parallel and a perpendicular. Alright, so we're going to leave that one driven as an example. So I managed to get both. So in that case, there's my parallels. My perpendicular was between that line and that line. My parallel is between these two lines. So the other method is I can highlight the little blue box. Alright, so right now it's green, it highlights blue. I can hit delete on the keyboard. And then again, it takes about as much time to change this from a driven to a driving dimension, but now I will be able to select it. So I clicked on the dimension, I went into other, and under the options we have driven. Read only prevents you from changing the dimension after it's been placed. Alright, so 30, we have a height of 9 and 15. Alright, so this lower edge, or lower edge of the angle, is going to be at the 15. And then we can go 9 and 7 on the base. Alright, so just a real quick check, 15, 30, 50, and then of course the choice is, do I include the notch out in the sketch? Since I'm not sure, I'll make it a contour and region. If it turns out that that's I don't need that, or it's not desirable to have the notch, I'll go to 32. Then I can always make it construction geometry or include it in the contour and region. Alright, so features, extrude. If I were to select the contour, I would get everything around the outside. I want the region. And I think I'm going to reverse the direction just to help out with the angle a little bit. And the overall length is 80 millimeters. Okay. So the two choices for the profile, I could pick the back face, but I could also pick the front plane as my sketching plane. So let's go to the front plane, and anytime we have an open profile, I'm going to be able to generate that geometry. Now I could make this closed profile by completing the rectangle, and then this a closed profile by completing the triangle. But if I wanted to use two open profiles, I can't get away with separate entities. These have to be connected. So as long as it's related to my sketch, I can join up those two endpoints. And we have 30 degrees between the base and the line. Alright, it comes down to the intersection. And then we have 25 and 25. Alright, so let's just check that one. That one's given a dimension of 25. So we'll verify real quick that one of these is okay. Alright, so 30 and 30. So the 30 degrees is showing as coming off of that face. And I want to say that I've checked that before, but one of those dimensions is going to be our driving. So if the intent is that that be 25, then really we could drive it the other way. That's just want to check my extension lines that is coming to that vertex, going out 30. Didn't miss any dimensions. So this is one of those places that having that driven dimension, we can make the decision. All right, so that's one of those question marks. We're going to go ahead and extrude cut. I'm looking for the direction of the cut since this is an open profile. All right, it's not closed to where it will be a complete contour. I'm going to switch from blind. It's nice that they added blind to the end conditions. I would have preferred they left through all the default or given us a way to set the default. We're going to watch this arrow that right now it would remove all the interior geometry and leave us an outside shape and an outside. So one solid body and another solid body. Well, we want to end up with one solid body. So I can either click on the flip to cut by selecting the arrow, which puts the checkbox in, or I can come over and hit the checkbox and flip the side to cut. Alright, so my through all gives me the geometry. I'm still curious about the 30 millimeters and or where that angle comes in. So we'll save this one and be on to the next. Okay, so the 30 degrees and 30 millimeters was bugging me, as it should. And looking across this face, it's not really in the same proportion as the sketch. So when I went back in through all of the noise, I missed the 5201, so would have to go back through the first part of the video to see where that came in. But now the flat looks better. 50 on the width, 32. Now my numbers are okay. And then we'll go back in, and I think I should just be able to double click, and we're at 25.98, which if we go in and take the tangent of 30 degrees and multiply it by the 45 degree height, we get 25.98. So if our tolerance is plus or minus a millimeter, that's still an issue, but it's not as bad. So when we get those anomalies, we're going to stop and check and figure out what's going on.